In this fourth demonstration, we're going to be showing you how to create a sheet metal part very quickly without using modeling commands in ST2. So there are no files to deal with here because again we're creating this from scratch. So the first thing we want to do is start a new sheet metal part using the synchronous metric sheet metal template. The next thing I'm going to do is just rotate the view a little bit using my asteroid to be pointing down the Z axes. And then I'm going to use the new tool in ST2 to create a rectangle by center. Very nice to just pick up that endpoint of the base coordinate system there. And I just want to pull out pretty much the full screen. And this will give me a region. And so without any tools other than creating that sketch, I just pick that region and it automatically can create a sheet metal tab. In this case, I'm going to change the thickness to 3 millimeters. Next thing I'm going to do is select the 4 edges because I want to create some flanges. And again, I just simply select them and start to drag. And in this case, I have an option here. I want to change this to bend outside. I'm going to pull downward. I'll be able to zoom out just a little bit as I'm pulling it down, get it a little bit taller. And so there you can see I created 4 flanges just with grab and go. Just select them and go. I'm going to do the same thing off the bottom edge. I'm just going to fence select all 4 bottom edges, pick my arrow, and you can see Solid Edge Intelligence built in there to extend those flanges outward equally as I drag them out. The next thing that I want to do is to extend the bottom edges or the bottom flanges here. I want to extend these out to where they meet this edge, and I want it to happen symmetrically on the other side. Before I start that, one thing I will need to do is turn off the thickness chain. The thickness chain means that it chains the selected area there, and if I start to drag this out, it'll actually move that entire face, which is not what I want. It'll extend both flanges at the same time. Not what I want to do, so I'm going to turn that off. I also am going to need to turn off the coplanar because it will find coplanar from one side of the model to the other side, so that edge would still extend if I didn't turn the coplanar off. So at this point I should be able to select that and grab and go. You can see I can make it smaller, or I can drag it out beyond where it was, come out to this endpoint, and it happens symmetrically. Next thing I want to show is a little more complex edit. I want to take this side face and I want to angle it inward. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom edge. And you can see that's happening symmetrically. I don't want it to happen symmetrically. I also want the side faces to go with it, the side thickness faces. So I'm going to escape real quick just to get back to where I was. I also want to pick up these 2 edges of the model, these 2 thickness faces. Now before I start again, I'll turn off symmetry, and then I'll just be moving that side of the model, which is what I want to do. Around 20 degrees is fine. Okay, so that's a pretty neat edit there. I can imagine trying to do all this in a history-based system, having to back up and resize things, and you know, with this flexible, fast and flexible edits in real time with ST2. Next thing I want to do is I want to angle this face upward. I'm going to drag over here to the edge. I'm also going to point the arrow to this back direction here, and that's just the angle that it will be measured from. So as I click this and start to drag, you can see that the 0 is actually pointing to the right, and I'm measuring in that direction. Again, 20, 25 degrees, something like that. So it shows how you can make a really complex edit very, very quickly in real time. Next thing I want to show is that I can also drive this with 3D dimensions. I'm just going to pick up this bottom edge, and then I'm also going to pick up the theoretical endpoint of the sheet metal part, and pointing my arrow upward as I drag, you can see I can change the height of my sheet metal part to a precise distance very, very quickly. And that concludes this create demonstration. Again, using 0 commands, I was able to create this very complex sheet metal part just with grab and go tools and fast and flexible edits.